an industrial park committee, and it was always just focused on industrial park growth only. And then back in 2016, 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. Changed the ordinance to an economic development committee. And over the last 7 years, there's been a lot of turnover in the board, so there was a lot of stop starts with this. The ones that who know me, I mean, I've been involved with the EDC for Melissa is the director of, but formerly when Bill Rubin was the director. I was served as president. I served for 6 years as the village rep, and then I had the opportunity to serve another 4 or 6 years as the county board rep. So I got a good 10-year span on the EDC board. So this type of work is important to me. So I am going to make it these meetings occur one way or another. So and not let them fade away like they have in the past. So just wanted to highlight a couple things in the ordinance. Some of the things right up front that we're gonna be making some changes. We're gonna change it to actually a 9-member committee with 4 alternates. And then where it says members down below, where it's specifically to specific types of personnel, adding some more vague, so we have a little more options in who I can appoint or future presidents can appoint. Then there's some clerical changes in here. The economic development director used to be the village clerk, so that's why you see it as village clerk / economic development director. So that will change. But if you get down to C2, powers and duties, the committee shall advise, develop, and recommend methods to stimulate positive public interest in economic growth and development, such as, but not limited to, overseeing the creation of business retention programs, review development projects as appropriate, provide direction. Ricky, when you're on way back at you. Yeah, and review TIF related activities. So that's the focus of this, whereas when it was the industrial park, it was strictly the TIF districts, and at that time, all that was going on in the TIF district was industrial type businesses. Now we're doing mixed use TIFs, we're doing residential TIFs. So the game has changed significantly. The other part is, some of the stuff we will talk about, we'll talk in general terms because some of it is sensitive, some of it is not necessarily even been presented to the board yet. Sure. We may use closed sessions as appropriate. People here are familiar with closed, the closed session laws and stuff like that, so I don't have to go into that. That's all I had on that topic, and the rest of them hand over to Bob and chime in when. So, and that's really what we wanted to. What I hope comes out of this is this gives lots of feedback for Bob, allows the economic developer director position to grow by hearing other ideas. Because we're locked into Somerset and there's stuff going on all over the place differently. So.
All right, any questions before I start going?
Not for me.
All right.
I do.
Yeah.
Is this, Does this committee creep into the extraterritorial?
No,
That's
I
my
mean,
commission, so.
just outside the village, or
The-
we all know how that works, but.
we don't have it, we are exercising, we do not have an ETZ, we are exercising ETC review powers. So we're about 2.5 miles, 2 miles, so anything that gets built 2 miles from our, the village has review authority to make sure that map behind you. They're not building anything on those, orange lines.
Future road connection.
Those were, yeah, mapped out several years ago as major road corridors into the future.
No, I understand it, how it works. It's just, I didn't know if we're supposed to be thinking about
No,
it.
and
I'll jump into, kind of what I,
one more thing, which we've also streamlined it, if it does not have any initial objections on us, it's Bob and I sign off on it, it goes right to the village board, doesn't have to wait for the planning commission to review it. And they have to pay a special fee and go to the board, so we're streamlining some of that stuff as well, so. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
alright. So you probably wonder what this all encompasses, so, I'll just touch on that a little bit, but. Number one, it's fostering relationships with our school, our business community and our residential community, our county folks
Mhm.
that, are important adversaries and, we have a working relationship with. Melissa provides information to me on a county-wide level, who she gets from the EDC from the state of Wisconsin. If there's any RFPs coming out for available land for businesses, that's where Melissa and I work together on. The school, I'm very involved with the school. I did serve 13 years on the school board. We got out at the perfect time, if you
He
don't.
served,
I do know what you mean. I know exactly.
he served just as long in the school board as he was in the school system, so.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's to foster those, and then, you typically met with superintendents, maybe on a quarterly basis, sometimes a little sooner.
Okay,
Or more frequently if there's a referendum or, just a public pulse on some topics, like what are you hearing? I met with Dr. Bezick quite frequently, Shannon not so much, just because there was some, a lot of involvement with her that she needed to really concentrate on the school.
Sure, and I may be attending it, not because I don't think Bob's doing it, I do think Bob's doing it, just, I like to, I wanna be there to support. And provide more power behind Bob, so, it's not that. It's just there to support Bob and when when the decision comes to the board, it's one more person that can advocate
Yeah.
for the vote easier, so.
sounds good.
Our local real estate, individuals that are in the community, Dave and I, we talk very frequently on things and ideas and, I go to Dave for land sale and he does a fair amount of marketing for us on, available land.
Okay, sure.
And then.
He's our under the radar real estate guy for us.
And then, things like feasibility studies, surveys, economic tools, I would appreciate feedback from this committee on, hey, we did a hotel study for feasibility. There's a couple hybrids that, maybe some people are familiar with them. Maybe things that have happened in your community that's been successful and I talk to other municipalities as well all the time to say, how did you get from point A to point B? Or if they Placer AI is a software tool I use, Nurchman called to say, how is that? Working and you need to be very dedicated to it, so we
Sure.
don't have the staff, Nurchman, I don't know if they did ever sign on to that, but it basically showed where our zip code people went. So like Noodles and Company, it had a high amount of 54025 visits and it's through apps, it's through credit card transactions.
That's cool.
Collects that big data and gets it down to our small little
Cool but
community.
creepy.
Yeah, both of those things, yes.
Because it does show a demographic,
Yeah.
if you're from 54025, you're likely in this, wage category, you're most likely Caucasian
Sure.
and those type of things. So then I'm able to use that to say, well, I'm gonna call Noodles Company because they
Yeah.
have they'll travel 8 miles.
Yeah.
They'll have a bowl of
Old
noodles.
noodles.
And you know, their
$20
ages are typically, under 21, because
You have places?
I do.
I did not know that. You're the only community in the county
We did
that
it
does.
last year.
Really?
But I'm not just.
I priced it out, it was gonna be 30 grand for me to have it, so I don't have it.
And it is, it was around $7,000, but again, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
To go through and do what's necessary. So if I had another staff person, I'd be like you, or just dealing
Yeah.
with Placer stuff,
Yeah.
because it's and I get at the weeds with Placer, but, fantastic tool, but again, it required a lot of, it would be like your first time looking at an Excel thing and how do you work this?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what to do.
no, yeah, I get that in my world, same, a lot of great tools, but.
And then once you get down with Excel, they change things and it's like, oh, I can't do this anymore,
Yeah.
so that's just a little bit about what, I'm
It's like
hoping to
drinking through a
achieve.
fire hose.
Yeah,
So, yeah, and if you're not familiar with any of these areas, just stop me and I can kind of point to a map and,
yeah, probably have to be a lot of pointing.
yeah, so the next
I
item,
will quiz you
Yeah,
next month and.
TID 5, are these two areas?
Maybe you go back. Wow. Explain how many kids we.
So our downtown TID is TID 3, that's a distressed TID. Distressed TIDs mean we have some blight that we're trying to infuse some money into.
sure,
Improve the property, the quality. We can go and acquire real estate, raising buildings, which we did.
okay,
On the former Ben's and Archie was a bar where the Voyagers building is now
oh, yeah, yep.
slated to be open.
So now we're seeing that success story finally play out.
I was about to say I'm familiar, and I thought, I better, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm aware.
so a blighted TID, I'm able to take, the village is able to take revenues from, this is TID 5, TID 6 is up here. We're able to take revenues and pool it into this one if we need,
Gotcha.
hey, we need $2 million, where we to get that?
Yep,
We can use
This
this
thing's
to pay.
not generating any money. We can take from a district and share it, to this district.
Oh, yeah.
And we created that blighted tip district when the state put in
yeah,
the freeway and turned this, what used to be the state highway, over to us.
gotcha,
And we, at that time, we created it as a blighted district
yeah,
to do all these financing options over.
And TID district, and I'm gonna get into the details of the TID because it's a lengthy conversation and a confusing one.
And you're lucky it's this Dave and not the other Dave from the school district. Dave Gerberding has a different opinion about tip districts.
yeah, what schools typically do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Schools, the county and our WITC do sit on our joint review board.
Okay.
It's your taxing authority.
yep,
And we've created TID, we capture the money and we don't share it,
yep,
so.
mm-hmm,
Well, the theory is, at the end of the day, it's count much further ahead.
yeah,
And so at 25 years or
yeah,
20
overall
years,
evaluation of the property.
you're all of a sudden gonna see a big bump in additional
Yeah.
valuation.
Yeah.
Then probably would have never occurred.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go to the TID 5, this is this area right here, this is the interchange exit number 9, I think. The village owns this property, it's about 60 acres. Growing Wings facility
oh, sure.
is an adults with the kind of
Yep.
disabilities and independent, but they are in our workforce.
Okay,
So they do transport them, they are active in our workforce. And
They opened their,
I feel a great addition to the community
Yeah.
because they were not well receptive to other communities.
oh,
But their requirements to get in is very, very stringent to keep certain individuals out.
mm-hmm,
And then next to that,
and they have future to kind of replicate their building. They have the space to correct, don't.
they have
Okay.
one facility now. And they have the option for two more
Okay,
that they will eventually build.
Sure.
But they have seen a lot of interest, so. Next to that is currently being constructed is a 112 unit apartment complexes comprising of 8 and 12 unit buildings.
okay,
So that'll be somewhere, I don't know how familiar you are with New Richmond.
yeah, pretty familiar.
So the Lynx Golf Course.
Yep.
Directly to the south of that is the same developer.
I know exactly, yeah, I know what you're talking about
Yep.
there, yep, okay.
So they'll start building here relatively soon. But that definitely fits our rental need, our inventory
Yeah.
of rentals were down to nothing.
I'm sure, yeah,
Rentals are very high.
yep,
Yeah, rent, I had coffee with Mayor Rich O'Connor, about 6, 7 months ago. And I said, I asked him how much is a 2 bedroom, X square foot rental in Hudson. I think it was about $12, $13. I saw advertising for 16 and 1700 in Somerset.
wow,
Their average
That's
rates.
average is 18 for a 2 bed.
wow.
So we were, at the time, we were higher,
Yeah,
it was.
You're right at market rate at
Yeah.
those, all the ones that open in New Richmond, like the library project, those are 1,700 for a 2 bed. So that's
Insane.
it's,
going
yeah,
rate right
Yeah.
now. Do you know those, the ones in New Richmond that are like those, are they all full? They look full,
I believe so.
yeah,
I'm dragging ass.
I'll ask, I can ask Beth.
That's Eau Claire Realty and Capital Investment Group out of Eau Claire.
okay,
Yeah, the group, that serves, two big issues that we have, employment numbers in their industrial park
mhm,
and school district.
and, yep,
Starting
absolutely,
teachers, I don't have a place to live.
yeah,
Very 45-minute drive to
Yep.
teach.
Or
They-
the actual quality of the available rentals were
Right.
sometimes questioned.
yeah, to have new construction is nice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do, see the stresses of the.
We've got some very aged
qualified individuals coming in,
Old or brand new now?
and how many total units did you say?
112.
Okay, nice,
And that'll be over, I would say, 5 years.
Sure.
Have a definite there, but, south of that, we're still working with the property owner. We don't own that property, but it is included in our TID district. I have a lot of good leads. Unfortunately, that developer or the landowner did not want to subdivide that. So we're in a position now where he will allow the village to take, or a developer to take 10 acres.
Okay.
And start that, because essentially that's really what's needed.
right, right,
That's kind of what the hotel location is. We're out soliciting hotel developers, trying to get them to come in and
Okay.
build. There's been a little bit of a struggle. just
Sure.
Because of the Somerset size.
yeah,
The weekends are great because we have wedding venues. We have Cedar Lake Speedway, we have a hockey arena.
yep,
It's just what happens between Monday and Thursday.
yep,
And
The
that's,
hotel is one of my priorities in economic development, because it will spearhead so much more
mhm.
once we get that anchor
Yeah,
in.
it's amazing what can happen. It's so. I live in Hudson right now. I'm moving to St. Joe in a couple months or a month now. But when the development down Carmichael took place, all with the intent of having a casino take over the dog park, all these hotels and everything, there's no way they can sustain. That closes, dog track closes, and there's only been more. It was something.
right. Yeah, absolutely. So I know that when I do find a hotel group there, they're gonna ask for probably a pay-as-you-go incentive
Yeah.
to come.
Mhm.
That's already been identified with every one of them I
Yeah.
have talked with.
Okay,
And I will be very aggressive with the board in partnering.
mm-hmm.
Are we still recording, Jessica?
Mhm.
Okay, and I won't say anymore.
Dennis Newman property is north of TID 6. And that is 250 acres of rural farmland.
Okay,
I've been engaged with that property owner for probably 4 years. He is now ready to
deal.
semi-retire.
Okay,
He like is milking cows to go away.
okay.
He said my workers from the southern,
Hmm.
across the border come in the summertime, but they leave in the wintertime.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get to milk the cows, and he's got 1,700 head of
Oh.
milking cows, so
Oh, yeah.
a very,
79
very
calls
large
at
operation.
minus 30 degree
That's a big
temperature, no thank
operation.
you.
Wow.
So we currently have, I have currently commitments from, um, industrial commercial developer as well as, one of our home builders
Okay.
to go in there.
That, it's prime developable land.
And also in our very fluid conceptual plans, we do have a Cloverleaf baseball complex because there's a growing need for baseball. And with kids in baseball, it's not uncommon that, hey, the game's at 8 o'clock tonight
Yep.
and they should be going to bed at
Yeah.
8:15.
Which,
So,
and on top of that, we just formed a new joint sports committee between the township and the village.
Okay.
Hopefully, which will transition into a true Parks and Recs Commission.
Mhm.
To oversee the existing parks, but also to identify, like those orange,
Hmm.
spot, oh, in the future, 50 acres or 100 acres for 25 years from now, build another large park.
Right.
So we're trying to get that off the ground now. That was one of the first committees that I appointed when I took over, so
Okay.
it's gonna take a while, but
the Newman property is, we do have the intention of making that a mixed use
Okay.
TID as well,
Okay.
so.
that's, I mean, that. To make them get the tax increment faster, and they almost. More, I'm seeing more and more that are mixed use, and Melissa, that's just the trend that I see.
Yeah, and the other thing we're seeing
They're-
too is the affordable housing tax extension on those TIDs. Currently, it's a year, we're trying to get it to 3 years.
Mhm.
So that could create a lot of additional dollars for affordable housing. Dollars are super flexible, 75% of them need to go to affordable housing efforts. It can be anything from down payment assistance to buying down lots to buying down units. There's a lot of different uses. It's super flexible. It's a great opportunity. So we had talked about that the last time we met. And that'll go through the legislature this session, is what it sounds like, trying to get that.
Somerset Camp, it's a old former campground directly across the river from us. I fail to remember, I think it's 25 acres, maybe 30. Dave obviously, has been involved with these conversations with me. Originally that, when it was purchased, there was an idea to put seasonal campgrounds. I, was not a fan of that, and, Dave and I have both been pretty vocal about the need for upscale 55 and up
Mhm.
housing because our demographics of the baby boomers
Yep.
trying to get out of their 4,000 square foot house into something, there's just nothing available that's
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
And, I'm very aware of the development right behind my house. Our retired people building $1.5 million homes.
Yep.
At 1,500 square feet.
Mhm.
So it's,
Yep.
cash on, no financing.
Yep.
But it's a high
It just
demand.
seems so bizarre, but it makes sense though.
Oh, yeah, it's happening everywhere.
So right now I'm soliciting out to local builders to see what interest they would have.
You want single family?
It is single family.
But
So the developer doing a bunch of tour
Part-
for senior 55 plus in Richmond.
part of that Somerset camp will,
No, independent, small people.
part of Somerset camp will be open next Friday. What you're calling Edgy Eats. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
building will be,
Yeah.
the building is a bar but they will have, food trucks,
Mhm.
there for the food, so it'll be rotating menu,
Yeah.
different idea. Y'all,
Yeah,
I'll connect you with them.
More likely Kaufman, the property would be a PUD, so there might be a blend of single
Mhm.
family and twin home, townhome type.
Sure.
That would make the most sense to me. Then the lot sizes can be a little bit smaller.
I would suggest detached townhomes.
Right.
I mean, they're very popular in Richmond, cause more, I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say, Dave, we'll spend $400,000 or $500,000 on a decent townhome.
Mhm.
And, well, there's nothing.
Right. And then we also have kind of to blend that in, we do have senior housing, it's a 30. Or is it 60? I can't
I think
remember.
it was, that was closer to 60.
Yeah, so, that is going up in still is our professional office district, which there's no demand for office
Right.
space right now. So we were following a lot of other communities of changing our ordinance because there was restriction on residential development in those districts. Now,
Sure.
we've opened that up for specific kinds of, including elderly care, specialized care, be it memory care or some other type of specialized.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
living.
another developer that'll be coming along, you know, in the same space. On top of that project as well, you know, the Vanasse, Mark and Agnes, you know.
Mm.
They
Yep.
They
that
currently
would-
have, you know, HUD housing, they, they are working, so they'll be coming just a couple months behind this project. So, and they were both meeting together and they don't see each other as competition at all, so.
Different space.
Somerset Riverwalk, something again, Dave and I have talked about. And also one of our local home builders, Mike Hartman.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Hartman was very interested in that property. And also very interested in, mimicking at a smaller scale San Antonio Riverwalk.
Oh.
Restaurants, hotels, and those types of entertainment district type of, development on that. To
That's a very-
enhance our river.
Oh,
It
yeah.
Sits.
Yep.
And with the tubing now scaled way back,
Mm-hmm.
that was always the obstacle. There was always a little dream, but we had
Gotcha.
some bodacious,
Yeah.
tubing.
And,
He,
you know,
and we had an unfortunate stabbing, and that's what ended
Mhm.
Mike's conversation with me, he says, because I
Okay.
cannot. Wholeheartedly tell somebody this is a great idea when this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
I said,
and now all the tubing except for Family Camera, which doesn't really tube, they just send their tubers to Alpha Camera. The owner of Alpha or River's Edge owns all the tubing establishments.
Okay.
So he kind of has his own monopoly now.
But you understand Afro Campground, and they're working together
They
and,
don't really do tubing, they shuttle them to River's Edge, or River's Edge picks them up. They don't really rent tubes at all.
I see them hauling tubes.
Yeah, but it's not theirs. They outsource it.
That's fine. I know that's short-lived anyway.
Yeah.
Afro Campground, they've wanted out for a while
Yeah.
now, anyway.
that river campground is another one that's being, we'll purchase for an investment to develop.
Okay.
Again, prices that have been out of marketability for developers.
Yeah.
One campground that was in our community floor right has now changed from camping and tubing to weddings and Santa.
Okay.
You know, so
Yep.
So I visited, San Antonio frequently, not frequently, but, meeting with people, city planners, engineers, tape measuring.
Yeah.
Doing elevations, getting plans from, here's what it was in the 1920s. Went to the 1940s and then today, and then what the operational maintenance costs are. They're currently doing a huge, maintenance project is like $44 million. So it's expansive, but that's over, like 17 years.
Sure.
But they said if we gotta keep this stuff up.
Yeah.
Because the amount of foot traffic it sees,
Oh, yeah.
it just, and they're trying to do this so it doesn't impact, well, it's a mess down here, so they're being very cautious about
Sure.
the impact it's going to have and trying to do it. I said it's tough because if we start this stuff in the prime, in what would be prime time in the north
Yeah,
is off season for us.
Yeah.
So July, but they said the problem is it's 120 degrees down here and a lot of the
Mhm.
work has to occur at nighttime
sure,
to get people to take the jobs.
yeah. Huh.
So. But obviously it's kind of, it's a dream, so we'll see if that ever grabs any traction, kind of hope it does. It'd be super
Good.
neat.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a concept we have floating out there, and, you know, if the right developer that has the
Mhm.
money to make the long-term investment.
Yeah. Well, it's,
There.
I mean, the timing thing is so important too, because we're right on the edge of being able to invite a lot of people into the community as things continue to grow, and you can't let it go too long, otherwise opportunity passes us right up.
I hope what you're also seeing a trend here, we're trying to ratchet up the quality and the prestige of the
Mhm.
developments and who we're working with from who we've worked with in the past. And
Sure.
Bob's doing a great job of trying to vet these developers
Mhm.
than, you know, that has happened in the past. You know, and
Thanks.
that's a lot of, it's a lot of work, cause in some respects, you can't really tell someone outright, no, you can't build a house here, cause
Mhm.
you buy the property, you have property rights,
Yep.
you know, so. You know, it's been an incremental, so we're gonna keep on ratcheting up that prestige and quality and
And Bob, I
in
think,
an increment, we can't make massive changes, the market wouldn't accept it.
and Bob and I've talked a lot about that Riverwalk thing, because we think, yeah, it could be a dream, if we don't know. But I think we always thought it could start in the village park.
Mhm.
It's gotta start somewhere. If it
Yeah.
starts, maybe it'll grow. If it started in the village park, which the village could control a little bit. Kaufman seems to be okay with it going through his property, Hartman or whoever. I think that's the plurs even, I don't think they even want to sell to somebody that doesn't want to continue that, correct?
Yeah, and we would be able to control that
Yeah.
conversation.
So I just think it needs to start, and maybe it can start at the village park. You know, just with a strip of blacktop and some solar lights for the trail and. Anyway.
Yeah, we worked on, well, under Cedar, you know, initial concept of a conceptual trail system around the river, which kind of spearheaded some of this, because that was probably about 15 years ago.
At least, yeah.
It'd be fun to see it.
Yeah, but it was 1, 2, 3, 4 million, you know, so it always kept, it's kind of like sticker shock.
Mhm.
It's gonna take some, you know. But we'll have to make a hard decision and
Mhm.
buy into it, so. We'll see where we are.
Next on the list, hotel locations, this is kind of interesting because you think you know everything. Yeah, hotel, right here, right? You talk to a good urban planner, nope, you want that over here. Why is that? Cause they gotta drive through, all your support services are gonna be here then.
Oh,
You're gonna
sure.
drive right by all the restaurants
Sure.
and all the support services. If you put it here, they're never gonna see.
They never have to
that.
stop, yeah.
So
Huh.
it's just, it's interesting when you talk with
Yeah.
different planners and they're like, oh, nope. So.
And then when you, it seems so simple once they explain it to you.
Yeah.
It's interesting if you look at the city of Altoona, what is that called? I didn't draw a blank. They did it to district, it's heavy, it's hotels and Woodman's, what is that called? Cedar Crest or Cedar something, but
Mm,
it looks almost identical to that. So a little bit of conceptual drawings have come out and they've infused that because it's highly successful, but it's got a big recreation portion of it. So, yeah, if you look down on an aerial, it's like, oh,
Okay,
this is really interesting because it does have the river feature and,
yeah,
that's really what they focused on. So, but that's the hotel location. The challenge is with our wedding venues are down here.
yeah,
You know, it's not walking distance.
yep,
And some of them, they've entertained like a boutique type of hotel, but our hockey rink is the other one. It's on that side of town.
Yep.
But the option right now is still our Hudson and
Mhm.
Richmond for these folks to go and stay after,
Still closer than most.
right,
Yeah.
right. So that's the kind of the argument was, well, our option right now is 15 miles away,
Right,
7 miles away,
yeah,
10 miles away.
Yeah.
That's a conversation we can win.
Yeah.
You know,
So, yeah, then maybe they can take their gondola, wedding venue, and go all the way up.
there you go.
bring back the chair, bring back the chairlift, that is the old tubing chairlift.
Right. So. Downtown development, touched on a little bit, the Voyagers, I think they did their,
Quick back to the hotel,
Yeah.
and so we have a little bit of more group, and you touched on it earlier about the studies.
Mhm.
You wanna talk a little bit about,
yeah, so. Hotel developers really gauge their, feasibility on feasibility studies, their performance on feasibility studies. Feasibility studies are great until a hotel goes in,
Mhm.
and they're good for about 2 years. They will not accept anything, and the last one we did was 2019, which is all kinds of glaring issues. It
Yeah.
doesn't- and
Oh, yeah.
COVID's not there.
Mhm.
I think
All
we've
these-
done two of them and spent,
$25,000.
I think we spent like 50 grand over on the two of them, you know. And that's just it. These developers that want the city, the villages.
Yeah.
To pay for the feasibility study for them.
Mhm.
So I do have a hybrid, a group, out of the Chicago area, that seems to be the concentration of these. That's the people that do these studies, he has a hybrid model that, at our next meeting, maybe I'll bring that out, and we can compare the differences, but this one actually shows what the local kick has to be in order for
Okay.
that hotel to go, because they said feasibility studies are effective, but they don't come up with all the expenses
Mhm.
that are realized. The parking lot, the stormwater pond, all these
Yep.
things that, well, that's another 100,000, there's another
Mhm.
100, or another million that we didn't take into consideration. So that one's a little bit more detailed, and I think it's more receptive to the hotel groups, like, okay.
Okay.
Now we know, it removes kind of the car salesman
Yeah,
analogy. Okay, the car's $35,000, right? You walk out the door, it's 47.
yeah,
What the heck happened here? Oh, there's taxes, fees, all these things.
yeah,
So this one identifies all those soft costs that, yeah, but again, it's not cheap to do.
right,
But again, I don't think doing another feasibility study, knowing our past has been, where's our hotel?
yeah,
Yeah. That's why I'm liking this different, something unique approach to it may be enough to finally get us over the hump,
mhm.
and get us that hotel. And like I said earlier in the meeting, I feel real strong that getting a hotel will be,
Yeah, it starts a.
a chain reaction.
Yeah,
And then it also identifies the brand. So you're not gonna see a Four Seasons,
right,
but you don't wanna see a Motel 6.
right, yep, yep,
That's in between, the Hampton Inns, the Best Western.
Yep.
The Holiday Inns, those types of, Cobblestone, even. American puts a nice product in.
Yeah.
They've really improved over the years
Mhm.
because they were,
I'm hoping for Hilton brands that Hilton stock, but.
well, they've got a quite the portfolio,
Yeah.
so. The downtown development, we're gonna move on to that, so not a lot to mention, other than, the Voyagers, so that's. The Voyagers encompasses a coffee shop, bakery, and then there's 2 suites that they've rented
The
now,
Barber,
barber shop.
the
Hudson
other one's
River,
gonna be yoga for now.
yoga, and what happened to the nail salon?
They actually bought up in my building.
Oh.
I think they bought up, she hasn't told me yet,
Okay,
but Perfect Reflection,
so that's change,
okay,
she's going up there.
and on top of that's retail,
But it's a
residential living.
perfect summer success story of, turning around long-term famous bars that became
yeah,
dilapidated and bought out by the city, and then, Lowell is 80 something,
Pushing 90.
yeah, pushing 90 years old. Makes a multi-million-dollar investment in his community. And is starting to be the reshaping of downtown Somerset.
Yeah.
It's just it's a great story. Met with him at that National Night Out last night and, we're really going to have a good ribbon cutting ceremony for it, so.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's a local person, but also frustrating because I was out, you know, beyond the local advertising that was going, you know, who's coming in here and then get this guy walking, with that lot's still for sale? Yeah, why? I wanna put something there.
Huh.
Are you kidding me? Actually, I think he went and saw you.
That was a good story. It's
Yeah.
a good, it's a crazy story, but good one.
Yeah.
So,
And we now have a lot here. And everyone keeps on asking, so you're gonna take over this lot, and he keeps on saying, well, I'm not saying no.
Well, what we're pushing on that lot, the Village owns a lot right over here. And I'm pushing like 3, maybe commercial units down below, maybe a couple of residentials just to help pay for it. Down up on top, and there's a few people interested.
Which is a very common downtown.
I mean, you know,
concept.
something cute like that, you know, maybe a pharmacy, people saying, we'd love to have our own pharmacy in town, because we don't have one. You know, we could rent a unit there, but nothing's become of that, but that's kinda what I've been pushing. Who knows what'll actually happen.
so Dave working on that for me. Yeah. Current developments, or wait, where am I at here? Down, marketing strategies. So I used to work with 80 Advantage and they were Chicago, Milwaukee based. Site selector, is what their niche was. Bob 80 was the biggest site selector in the United States back in the 40s, 50s.
Okay.
His daughter took that over. She since has retired and just closed the company down.
Oh.
Out of that, a few of her key individuals started a new consulting, site selecting. So Carolyn Chrisman is somebody I use, and she does my marketing. Or excuse me, she does the site selection. So she's the one that calls around all the hotel groups. So if I'm looking for somebody, she just goes out. She's got all the contacts.
Okay.
And fantastic at her job. Lucy Bordenick is with Thread Digital. She does our marketing. So if you go to our website,
Yeah, shout it out.
I just want.
under the
Show this what
do business, you'll see a one pager with information for developers on, you know, Somerset's open for business.
Yep.
You know, just a conversation the other day. Hudson's not really open for business.
Right.
They're stagnant. Completely, it's well, there's city leadership that doesn't want to ruffle the town, surrounding town feathers, so not a lot going on.
No.
Which makes it good for us because, well, what's our other alternative if we want to be on this side of the river?
Right. Completely.
And,
Yeah.
So they continue to work. We get published in the Hartford. It's a periodical or publication that goes out to subscribers that are looking for specific things for businesses, developments, you know. That it?
So, yeah, we have our traditional webpage,
Mhm.
but we also have. The advisors, Bob's working with choosesomerset.com.
Okay.
Is there a page around there? Look on the commercial.
That is strictly about economic development.
That's great.
It's still, I mean, it's still tweaking a little bit,
Yeah.
we're not fully rolling it out,
Sure.
but,
Place to start.
And interesting enough, I was at a seminar, Janet 80, when she was still working. I'm in a room of,
thanks, Melissa.
Thanks.
Good to meet you.
Sorry, I gotta take off early.
in a room of 500 people, and she told a story about. There's this community of about 3,000 people, 45 minutes away from International Airport, 30 minutes away from 3 million workforce. Has I couldn't believe how many colleges and secondary
Mm-hmm.
institutions there was, I was floored. And she's talking about this community, and she goes, and they're having struggles with economic development. And I'm like, and she goes, that's your community.
Huh.
And I said, oh, because nobody knows where you were at.
Yep.
They don't know where Somerset is.
Yeah.
And what they do know is a certain image,
Sure.
A tarnished reputation.
Yep.
and that image doesn't. That business isn't here anymore,
Right.
but, you know, for that image. So,
Right. Yeah, but it takes a while to get past that.
Right.
And a couple kind of splashy things that you see and you notice and.
Yeah, so we did a rebranding process to, shift away from logos and, what's this? For just, and I didn't really have an understanding of just imagery alone with an old logo would make an impression on somebody, oh, that's Somerset.
Mhm.
Same as an impression of, a retail store that you don't really care for it,
Yeah.
they'll rebrand it.
Yep,
Like,
absolutely.
oh, that's this place.
Yeah, yeah.
You tricked me.
Yep.
But that was essentially why we have a citizen group, the Somerset Champions looking at a new logo. Which I'm completely fine with. So that's been a community led. And I feel that group is a great. A great addition, because they are in fostering and, planters, they're fostering or the addition of the hometown hero banners.
Yeah.
A lot of the community stuff that it's dressed things up.
it's things that we as village board would love to be able to do, but it's not really we don't have the time, and
Yep.
it's not really truly the role of government.
Yeah.
So those are kind of a lot of the things that we've done on the marketing scale on things.
Okay.
Shipping our reputation around.
So, yeah, once this gets tweaked a little more, we'll really start pushing this and spending some money on getting it advertised and,
Yep.
so.
Capstone Homes, is our newer home developer
Okay.
and builder in town. They said, we had no idea where Somerset was, but they said, this is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
They build 5-1 in the Pineville development than they do in any of their Minnesota ones. 5-1.
Wow.
So they market, but they're very cautious about how they're marketing because they want to keep their competition out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So it's a struggle.
Sure.
We don't want to be, hey, this has been great.
Yeah.
But they are, very, very, very good to work with.
I don't think they can keep up. Because I called up there the other day, they don't have any lots left,
Who doesn't?
Pine Vale, there's
Oh,
Pine Vale,
yeah.
and there's more, it's the phase that they need to
Yeah.
go into. I don't know where they're at, do you know where they're at?
We approved the first,
40, there's another 40 coming on boarding this
Big
fall.
ball, okay.
Yeah, so actually a couple months, they just paved up there, so they're pretty much ready.
This is only sort of connected to this, but so last year, the school district did the demographic study.
Mhm.
Did they come out, did they meet with you when they do the demographic study? Do you know, did Applied Population ever come out and talk to developers or? Okay,
I think we got stuff in the mail.
okay. That's interesting because like, I personally think that we're probably going to beat the projections because there is so much happening. So in my previous district, we used Applied Population once and same thing, they do a good job. Their product is really good, but at a different time, we used a different company because we had to redraw elementary boundaries. And they got out, they talked to developers, they talked to the people that knew. The numbers were way more accurate because they're not just taking in trends, it's not just looking at past. Especially with so much available and so much opportunity, you really have to consider it more broadly.
Yep, and I know the name of that group that you're talking about.
Okay,
Is it a person's name?
it's not, it's 3 letters.
Okay,
3 letters are out of Iowa.
okay, might be a different one.
There's, there's a couple that will do that because they're really specific. They're not just trying to tell you the numbers. They have to tell you really specific things.
This is like
In the-
Natalie Johnson.
In that
Got it.
data
Oh,
realm,
Hazel Reinhardt.
There you go.
Yeah.
in that data realm, Melissa, the EDC just completed a countywide housing study or they paid for it,
Mhm.
50-some thousand dollars done by the West Central Regional Planning Commission, which I'm on the commissioner of, it's 10 county
Okay,
regional planning commission. They do specialized projects, and the economic development corporation did a countywide housing study. We as Somerset also chimed in on it to get our, so we got our own little slice of the report that's Somerset specific.
okay,
And the road show will be coming to the library the 12th. The date's out there, and they'll be presenting all the data and information. And it'll be like literally drinking out of several fire hoses.
yeah,
But I think there'll be a lot of good stuff in there for the school district to.
yeah. You said that's on the 12th?
Yeah,
You know the time on that?
3:30.
Thank you.
I've seen it and I've been sworn to secrecy, so because I'm on, so.
The status of current developments, I'll start with the school. So, Wine Sap is all of this green area, a little bit of the brown.
Well, not all of it.
Yeah, just this.
Yeah, good. It's the school is that piece out.
Yeah.
Just,
But still, it's a good chunk of.
It is, yeah.
that is a preferred builders development.
Okay,
The preferred does the development. Capstone buys the lot. There's an agreement there. A lot of struggles with the developer side of things. So we actually shut them down. And they had to regroup. They currently have a new project manager that their bank had suggested working with, and I call him the Lone Ranger. And he comes in and just gets developments that have, not done well
okay.
and rectifies them, kind of. Mends the relationship
Sure.
between the municipality and the developer, so.
We've had a long and very rocky relationship with preferred builders.
Okay,
So, that has now, we're gonna be looking at the plat. Once again, because the plat's been modified,
okay,
and they're hoping to start construction on the first edition yet this year.
gotcha.
So there's
Okay.
330 homes on a full build out there.
Okay, yeah, I think I heard a little bit of that, because there was some connection with the school district on that one.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
need to talk to you after, or
Mhm.
sometime here in the near future about some of the things that they need
Okay.
to work with the school on.
Okay, sounds good.
There's a component there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, roughly 330 homes. I mean, again, enrollment, we're talking enrollment.
Hmm.
That's a huge, I mean, they said that's the selling point right there is a school.
Yeah, oh,
That's what
yeah,
their product is.
Who wouldn't wanna raise their kid
yeah,
within.
in walking distance,
of
yeah.
it.
Bob, do you think Capstone wants to keep building in there, or do they do? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a whole lot, but yeah, they definitely wanna keep building. That's a lot of their inventory going out, so otherwise they're gonna acquire more land. So that's in their projections.
Well, that's what I pictured, that's what I was afraid of, that, they got Pinevale now, so they got their own stuff, and then if they go to Newman's, they have their more of their own stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll not wanna do there,
Right.
I probably don't know that, I guess.
River Hills over here. That's full. I mean, it might be a one or two lots
Okay,
left, but that just went crazy. Capstone was the primary builder in there.
Okay.
Again, not the developer.
yep,
And then the green is the TID 6 area, that's Capstone. That was a TID district. The village owned that property. They bought it in 2009. And it was very hilly, very wooded, very, very complex
Yeah.
to excavate.
Okay.
At a very large number. We did some calculations on the expense versus lots.
hmm
And they determined it'd be about 150-year payback to the village by the time you got back into the red,
wow,
or out of the red.
yeah,
It was always bought, so more as potentially as a losing TID to gain access to the.
To the north.
To the north.
Gotcha, sure.
Yep, so, you know, we,
So I mean, the good part is that they turned the cash flow around. The projected cash flow is assuming the development, you know, is completed
Mhm.
correctly. On that TID 6, so.
Okay,
in about a year, there's $50 million of value in
Yeah.
that. So what we did, we shut the TID down.
okay,
I RFP out to home builders, Capstone said, "Hey, what's this about?" And I says, well, and they looked at it, they said the grading, the expense is just not there.
sure,
What happens if we made this a TID and we grab some commercial land because the 35% is your max
yeah,
residential? And worked with our consultants on that, and they said, oh yeah, we can grab all this and make this work. So they did purchase that from us, and we did have to throw them money
Mhm.
to make this thing go, so the but for is, well, we're not gonna develop it without some assistance.
yeah,
The county was not in favor of it and almost lost at the joint review board.
oh,
They were
really?
not gonna, and I had to have a sidebar conversation with him, and he said, oh, okay. And I don't wanna say the sidebar conversation now, but Ken came around and understood what exactly I was trying to do.
Gotcha, okay.
That, yeah, like, we have about $15 million of value in there now, and that probably will get closed down in 2007, 27 or 28. It was just opened up in 24.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
nice,
yeah, it'll get. Value back to the regular tax a lot sooner than,
that's the piece a lot of people don't understand, that, yeah, get it developed and turn it back
It'll
around.
be $140 million of valuation.
Hmm.
And that was my conversation with Ken. Do you really wanna go back to the county and say, you said no to
Right,
and,
never mind,
that? Or I can.
yeah, yeah, right,
it was. Till then, the housing in TID districts really was, you know,
Mhm.
not something that was happening, at least, or people weren't used to it.
Mhm.
Now it's almost the only way. Development is happening in communities,
Well, it's,
because the margins on everything are getting slimmer.
Yep.
So they have to, you know.
yeah, slim margins and more competition
Yeah.
for the developments that are available in larger regions, so, yeah.
And there's only, we're restricted on what kind of incentives we can offer, so you have to be creative with the TIF districts and stuff like that, so.
Yeah,
And banking, in order for developers and well-seasoned developers, they need to show a 25% return on initial investment.
Mhm.
So when I have conversations with some of our rural land, they say, oh, they're trying to rip us off. I said, well, you can ask them to open their books for you, but I said, I'll tell you right now,
Mhm.
they can't get financed unless they can show and prove to the bank, because they're not gonna make the same mistake of 08.
Right,
I said, so they're locked hard on that, and if you're not a seasoned, it's even higher, it might be 40% return.
sure,
So that's unfortunately, your $35,000 an acre
right,
isn't gonna work out for them.
right,
So you can either be the developer, or you can
Mhm.
come down in your price.
Yep.
And that's always a tricky conversation. Cause you gotta respect property owners and. well,
Oh, yeah.
my stuff's worth this, it's good.
Yep.
That's right, we'll list it.
Yep, it's worth what the market says it's worth.
But yeah, that, we're thinking, they feel 27, they'll have their last house and they'll need additional property, so. That's when the negotiation with the farm owner to the north have come in, they're hoping to put in another. Potentially 200 homes
Mhm.
and, yeah, things have been really good. Our struggle has been with commercial.
Yeah,
TID 5, where the apartments are going, we did reserve the road frontage for commercial. I think that'll really just kind of ramp up once people see it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I've been patient, but I do have chain restaurants, fast food and some other, people that need site requirements.
Sure.
And, 25,000 cars on this side of the road.
Yeah.
Morning. It's interesting, they'll get away from that requirement in a smaller community.
Yeah.
So, but they have been, anxiously just kind of
Nice.
idle right now until we have things prepped and ready to go, so.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of stuff in the
Yeah,
preliminary pipeline,
absolutely.
so.
I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
I just want to verify that the Floyd property isn't tip five. Okay, that's a yes.
On the other, the remaining part of it,
The Floyd property,
The-
the
yeah.
river all around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and then Newman timing, what do you think about was the timing on that?
we need to be in a purchase agreement by the end of the year.
By the end of this year?
Mhm.
For
Crops
sure.
are bad, milk's terrible. I just had a conversation with him yesterday, he goes,
So he's ready to rumble, he's ready.
crops are in the tank, milk's terrible.
Will that be a phase thing, or you can buy it?
It will be phased, but I just got Melissa just sent me a contact for somebody that's interested. That's attached to Colliers, so Colliers is a huge global developer. Now interested, and again, so that's where Melissa becomes very valuable.
In buying it out from underneath you?
No,
No,
No.
in developing it after.
yeah, no, no. So they're trying to cite somebody, obviously.
Yeah,
It could be. Some of the product that's going up there in the non-residential. Some of my conversations with, I'm gonna be quiet on the name, but they said, what is, if you're gonna build something right now in the industrial, what would you build? I said, I would build a 50,000 square foot building that was convertible.
sure.
And if somebody needed 5,000 square feet, I get in a
Part
10-year
incubator types,
and
concept.
let them grow from there. They put 2 buildings in following that advice, and they're like. It's the best thing in the world. They had one that said, we wanna buy the whole thing, we're growing, so they sold that one building. They still rent the other one out, but they wanna put 4 more in exactly that type of way.
Okay,
Will the village buy the Newman property, or will you get somebody to buy it and then just be involved with them?
Might be a combination.
Combination of those two things.
Yep.
Right.
In the ball field, the ball field, they were like, why are you so obsessed with this ball field? I'm like, well, that's one of Dennis Newman's, biggest requirements.
okay,
That's
And,
why he wants to leave his legacy on his land.
Yeah.
And it serves a need,
Oh, yeah.
a significant deficit that we have right now
Mhm.
with sports fields.
Yep,
and
Unless the school starts to develop more of their property, but we get,
Yeah.
you're too new to give you a hard time.
well, that was, but that
You're,
was,
you're
that
too
was
new
one
to
of the
give you a
failed
hard time
questions.
yet.
I mean, that was one of the failed questions.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah. Which.
Yep.
I mean, we'd love to be able to partner and not have to develop our own as much as possible, so, yeah.
as a 65-year-old with no kids, I'm gonna vote no.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah,
That, I'm working with a landscape architect right now, and I said, look, I was just in a tournament over in, our kids were in a tournament. Multi-level over in Bloomington at the Herbeck and another park.
oh, yeah,
And I got back and I just made some phone calls and I said, how much money are you making on those tournaments?
Hmm.
And the guy said, I think we just about got to $100,000. On one tournament.
Mhm.
And he told me how many kids, they were $85 a kid, and it was 10U, 12U, I don't know how many
Yeah.
U's. But like 1,100 participants.
Mhm.
So he started doing the math, and they said, "Okay, we gotta subtract out their costs, but about $100,000. How many of those do you have a year? 10?
So you're thinking about paying for use, let people use it for that?
Well, what I'm hoping to create is a recreation. And they
That's-
would just lease that from us, run that,
Mhm.
and then pay for
That's
that.
the committee I just started, the goal that I see out of this, the committee that I started is become that.
okay,
And that also has.
But to-
economic
Yeah,
taint
but-
to it because.
But to
we
have
got-
the
we got
conversation,
3 hours before a game.
yeah,
We
to
wanna
have that
drive
conversation right now
Crappy
about
traffic,
creating a,
nope,
let's go find something to do,
yep,
find something to eat.
the township portion of it is not ready to agree to that concept yet, so I have to bring them with us. And then once they're there, then we can get to that,
yeah,
So. 'Cause that's the only area that we have, other than the Plurd property, to even entertain a cloverleaf.
yeah.
4-field,
Yep.
nice complex. And it also works because TID can pay for a lot of the structures, they can't pay for the fields, cause it's.
Yep.
It's an exempt use.
Sure,
But
sure.
when you put a nice, bathroom concession area
Yeah.
in there. Potentially be turf, might not be turf,
Mm.
it's, I don't know about turf, you hear schools putting turf in and then they're ripping it out. And it's.
Yeah.
What?
It so much of it depends on I'm not an expert, but on the total available land that's gonna be used, because the nice thing about turf is you can use it all the time.
Right.
You don't have to worry, but if it's completely recreational, you don't have that same concern even with natural turf then either. It's not the same as, you're gonna put kids out there to play football, and you gotta be super careful about not pounding down the turf and compressing things, so,
And it's also considered impervious,
yes,
so you've
yeah,
got
great stuff, story.
3 acres of where you're gonna put the water.
yeah, yeah,
Because, and that's, the school did it, we did make the school aware of that, like, hey. You know, our
We'll
water.
have a stormwater problem already.
yeah.
Our water resource engineer just kind of jumped in as a freebie,
Hmm,
just said, look.
yeah,
You're gonna have some issues here,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, so in Hudson, it's
Yeah.
right underneath the turf. That's where the reservoirs are, and then controlled and let it go out when it needs to. But yeah, that was certainly a battle.
Expensive.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
So there, it totally made sense because there was no other land. Like if you want to have football fields on site, it has to be turf.
When they made the decision to stay at the existing high
Yes.
school,
That was it. It had to be turf.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Yep.
well, anything else, Bob, do you wanna highlight?
Nope. I don't think so.
So just one thing in
Yeah,
to the
please.
marketing concept. I mean, I just talked this morning, we had community members over with new staff. One of the things that I've been talking about is kind of putting a flag down and saying, we want Somerset to be the best community to raise a family, and school wants to partner with that concept. And obviously the district is beyond just the village, but we're all on board for partnering in terms of the marketing and sending a message about why this is a place to be. So whatever I can do.
So if you go to Capstone's website. It was one of their highlights as a school district,
Okay.
right on their website, it was showing downtown Stillwater. It shows Sam's Christmas Village and the school district, not our downtown,
Sure.
but you know. But that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. I think they're starting to understand how important, I mean, the community revolves around the school.
Yeah.
And. You know, I think we'll just go off after the meeting, but.
Sure.
You know, some of the meetings, you know, I had some conversations with board members, like,
Hmm.
"Oh, these things are not
Yeah.
helping me out.
Yeah.
They're not helping you out.
I think we'll be moving in a good direction there. Good deal.
Well, I think what we'll do for trying to figure out how to meet next time is, do a doodle or something, you know, sure. Where everyone can put in their schedules and we'll find where there's the common opening for everyone, because well, I'm gonna try to be creative, to get this committee fully populated and working, so.
Awesome.
What you're saying, a lot of people aren't available right in the middle of the day.
Well. If Aaron would have been here, we would have, that would made a quorum, or,
Joe,
or Joe.
or Bergie.
Yeah.
I'll call Bergie after.
She's on.
Oh,
I've been listening to you.
Who is? Oh, I didn't know we had anyone. Who is it? Joe?
It's Chris.
Oh, there's Fergie. How you doing, Chris?
Good. So we did make a meeting. No, we do actually have to adjourn.
Is there
No, we've got-
any industrial lots available now? No. But is there people asking?
Mhm.
Okay, so we need them pretty bad.
Mhm.
And they're not big, 5,000 square feet, so. What I've been doing is talking with some of our current business owners that have small but have a very large lot. Say, hey, are you interested in selling that?
Hesitant, I'm sure they're hesitant because they never know.
They made a couple mistakes, in my opinion, in the past by giving them too much land
Right.
and not putting in a developers agreement that, hey, if we don't do anything in X amount of years, we're getting that back.
Yeah, and somebody goes back to the 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did one, you know, and that's been closed for 20-some years.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Well, it was, I think we were in high school, Tommy Thompson flew up and landed a helicopter at what was the middle school, was the high school.
Yeah,
And gave a $1 million grant to SMC. Which kind of created that big spur of the industrial park.
Okay.
In the 90s.
That was a good one, that was a good one.
Remember, they told us, none of us could drive to school tomorrow, and they wouldn't tell us why, and then I started out with an assembly and
that's cool.
landed in a helicopter in a student parking lot and came on in and
Yeah.
did the big speech and gave it the check and kind of, and it's 30 years ago, so that's what I remember.
Yeah,
So, you know, as, you know, ideas even between meetings, shoot them
Sure.
to Bob and I, and, you know, you and I are willing to sit down and meet
mhm,
whenever, about whatever, you know, so.
excellent. Yeah, I think when we think about marketing too, the potential of talking about, like getting some of you folks in front of the board, talking about enrollment trends, you know, we can connect it to the goals and the mission of the school district.
One of the things we were trying to get together before Shannon left, and it was a board initiative, and, is to get the three boards, the township,
Yes, yeah,
the village, and the school district. Together, I think that's probably would be our first step.
yeah, that'd be great.
And I think one of the talking points would be that housing study would be some good data,
Mm-hmm,
or some, I mean, some common,
that would be a big one for, yeah, that's,
some common data point between the three. Just and have it, so it's a
Mhm.
positive discussion that we all, you know.
yeah,
Where there's no finger pointing on
Yep.
stuff. And then, so it can finally have a joint meeting that is successful between,
yeah,
in the past, they've never been able to meet because so, you know, there was some issue.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I get the township and the village just don't jive, so. As well as they should.
And we have a new, and I don't wanna say anything against former town chairman, he served 43 years of service, and that's
mhm,
but they have a new town chairman, Doug Blurd, he and I talk once or twice a week on coordination of different issues,
yeah,
so. I think that's a significant difference. I know former village presidents going back to Mike Egelberg, you know, to the 90s. Did not talk to the town chairman at all. So Doug and I talked a couple times a week,
nice,
so. I see that relationship getting better,
yeah,
so that's only gonna help the school district as well,
yep,
so.
good,
And they have some new personnel on the school, on the town board too, so.
Yep.
That changes it.
Do we wanna knock out 6 and 7 here?
Oh, I did, sorry. What?
That's not me, that's. I'm always here. All future agenda items, topics.
Yeah, or just send them at future agenda items,
Okay.
topics, just send them in. And,
Business committee, are we trying to think